The Young and the Restless Monday, June 23rd update. Dumas' retirement, Kane's GC homecoming and Sally's pitch. Kane will acknowledge that a party is no fun without any guests, so he kept the Aristotle-Dumas charade going to make sure they all came. However, now Kane will be ready to retire as Dumas and return to Genoa City as himself for a new beginning. After Lily gets fed up and stomps away, Devon Winters, Brighton James, and Damian Kane, Jermaine Rivers, will join her on the train. Lily will fume since the man they've been talking about all these months was Kane of all people. Kane's double life won't make sense to Lily, and Damian will have plenty of questions as well. Devon will tell Damian about Kane's father, Colin Atkinson, Tristan Rogers, who was a crime boss in Australia and was mixed up in all sorts of shady things. Damian will assume it was a like father, like son situation, but Lily will give Kane a little credit for not wanting to be like Colin. That said, Lily will admit Kane's feelings toward his father changed, so she'll flash back to a conversation she had with him about Colin's illness and regrets. The fact that Kane was willing to forgive Colin crossed the line for Lily. Since Colin stole Devon's money, that was unforgivable as far as she was concerned. Another flashback will show Lily lashing out over Kane, wanting the twins to visit Colin near the end of his life. That's when things really turn sour between Kane and Lily, so she'll fill Devon and Damian in on all this. Instead of going home now, Lily will feel like she needs to stay and find out the rest of the story, especially since Kane's coming back to Genoa City. After Kane promises to speak with each guest privately at some point, Victor Newman, Eric Braden, will demand his private meeting immediately. That'll lead to Kane's explanation about Colin getting sick 6 years ago and trying to make things right with his son. Kane reconnected with Colin, who helped him amass his fortune by selling land and investing in cryptocurrency. Now it's been 6 months since Colin passed away, so Kane will be thinking about his mortality and his desire for a fresh start. Kane will want to let go of his businesses under Dumas, so that'll make up a massive piece of his empire. Victor will eventually find out where he fits in all this since Kane will want to trade for control of Chancellor. Unfortunately, Victor will shut down Kane's proposal and let him know it ain't gonna happen. Back with Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, he'll seem frustrated over not realizing it was Kane when he talked to him on the phone. This isn't the first time Kane has posed as someone else, so Billy will think back to when Kane pretended to be his half-brother and Jill Abbott's, Jess Walton, son. Diane Jenkins Abbott, Susan Walters, Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, and Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, will all be part of this discussion with Billy, which will focus heavily on Kane's interest in Chancellor. Sally will eventually corner Billy alone and suggest they should rush home to expose Dumas' identity through their Abbott Communications launch. When Billy hesitates, Sally will argue that they can forget the story and leave anyway. Sally clearly won't want to be caught up in all the drama, but Billy won't want to leave until he uncovers whatever Kane's not telling him. Next on Monday's YNR episode, Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, will remain focused on her pursuit of a job. Getting updates on Kane's shocking news didn't change anything for her, so she'll double down on her personal agenda. Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, will point out that he doesn't remember Kane and Phyllis ever being super tight, but she'll counter that he wasn't her enemy either. Since Phyllis won't have any Kane qualms, she'll still view this as a golden opportunity. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Phyllis will work some surprising angles as this trip continues, so stay tuned.